Alright everyone, so today I wanted to share with you guys a method when it comes to working on your gear that is going to save you a decent chunk of gold. And I actually did put this out on the channel a very long time ago. This was one of the first videos that I uploaded well before I had, I think, even 1,000 subscribers. So I don't think very many people saw this video, and I wanted to use this as an opportunity to re-release it and also explain exactly how it works in a bit more detail. So what you want to do when it comes to working on gear is, if you can, you actually want to really try to work on at least 2 pieces of gear at once, and you guys will see with this method exactly what I mean by that and how it's going to help you out. So I am actually working on some gear right now. Just as an example here, I could show you I'm working on a set of life gear. And one set of gear, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get it up to 5-star awakened. And that's actually going to be the belt that I have right here. Now, once you end up getting it to 5-star awakened, you want to leave it there. What you do not want to do right away is you do not want to enhance it up to the 5-star awakened plus 5. Once you get to 5-star, it's going to be a very low chance of success, only 10%. It's going to be pretty costly in terms of the amount of gold that it uses, and of course it's going to be using 15 of your brownstones as well. So just leave this here right now. This is your gear piece number 1 that you are working on. Then what you want to do is move on to another piece of gear that you are working on. So obviously I am working on a set of life gear, and I decided to do the belt first, get it up to 5-star, and now I am working on the bracers right here. And you can see that right now it is just quite simply at 2 stars. It's in progress, and now what I want to do is I want to work on this gear. I want to work on the process of getting it up to 5-star as well. However, I do not want to use the guarantee, the enhanced failure gauge. And when I go to consecutive enhance, it actually automatically turns this on. What you guys want to do is, if you do use the automatic enhance, is make sure to turn this off here. What we don't want to do is we do not want to use our enhanced failure gauge on this item right here that's only 2 stars. When this does fill up to 100%, what we want to do is we want to go back to the belt, and we actually want to use it on the belt. And I really want to explain this properly, because at first glance, you might not think that this actually saves you anything, because the amount of failure gauge that you get is based off of the amount of brownstones that you're using. So if an item uses 15 brownstones and you fail, it fills up your failure gauge by 15%. Whereas if you're working on an item and it only uses 10 brownstones, the failure gauge is only going to go up by 10%. So you might be thinking to yourself, well, why does this really matter then if the amount of percentage failure gauge is based off of the amount of brownstones that you use anyway? Well, think not only about the actual brownstones, but the cost that it takes to enhance as well. When you're working on items that are much lower star level, it costs a lot less gold. So you're still working on filling up your failure gauge, but now instead of actively working on the belt right here, with that really low chance of success and spending that 39,000 gold, what we're going to do is, when we do fill up our failure gauge working on that second item, we're then going to switch over to the belt, and we're going to use our failure gauge on the belt instead of the other item, because we get to use it on something that's obviously a much lower chance to succeed, uses more enhancement stones, but the most important part is that it costs a lot more gold per attempt as well. And if you guys really want to end up taking it to the next level as well, you can even not use the auto, and instead of stopping all the way at 100%, because you can tell here, once we end up getting to, let's actually just manual enhance just for the purposes of this video, and I'll take this off. I guess it won't let me right now, but I'm just going to manual enhance anyway. And if I end up failing a bunch of times here, which I don't know how long that's going to take, hopefully not too long for this video here, once we end up getting to 3 and 4 star, it's going to, the chances of failure are going to be quite a bit higher, of course. So I want to show you something else you could do if you really want to be a perfectionist here and save yourself the absolute most amount of resources as possible. So now we're only at a 40% chance of success, but of course, because I'm recording a video, I'm going to get lucky anyway, right? Wow, that's actually incredible right here. How is this happening? Okay, there we go. So now we're at 25%. Okay, now we're at 35%. And what we're going to do is, you can use the automatic enhance. Just make sure that if you do that, you turn off the automatically use the failure gauge, because then it's going to use it on this item and defeat the entire purpose of what this video is about. But what we're going to do is, we're not even going to take it all the way up to 100%. We're just going to take it up to 95%, because we could still end up using that. As long as it's 90% or higher, we could use the enhancement gauge. And the reason why I say this is like for the perfectionists here, if you really want to save yourself some gold, is because the very last one, you can see here at 75%, the next one's going to go up to 85%, then the next one's going to go up to 95%, and that very last one is only going to fill it by 5% instead of the 10% that we would normally get. But it doesn't have to be at 100% in order to actually use the gauge. Okay, so we got one more failure here. Alright, so there we go. We are at 95%, and even though it's not full, you can see how the next one would actually have some of it go to waste, which we can avoid. And now what we're going to do is we're going to end up swapping back to the belt right here, go to enhance, and we are going to use the failure gauge right here. And this is actually going to automatically use it. Make sure that you double click it as well, just so you guys can see here. You want to actually see that the success rate when you use this, it's not 10%. If we unclick it and then click it again, you'll see that it goes up to 100%. The way that the failure gauge works is if you have a success rate of 10%, then you need 90% of the failure gauge to go up to 100%, because every percentage of the failure gauge adds 1% to your success rate. And that's why you could see you don't need the full 100% to go to 100% success rate. You only actually need 90% because you have 10% anyway. So now this is going to be guaranteed right here. And this is really, if you want to save yourself the most amount of gold, this is how you actually want to go about upgrading your items. It will save you a good chunk over the long term. So make sure that you're working on 2 items at once. And now I'll just go back to the auto method right here. Just make sure when you do this, you turn this off. Very, very important to do that. Very easy to accidentally forget about this. And now I'll do one method here through the automatic system instead of going through manually, just so you guys can see here. And I guess I have to take it up to 4-star first, so we'll go to Awaken. Once you get to 4-star, you have a pretty high chance of failure, so we definitely won't get 5 in a row here. That's not going to happen. Turn off the gauge. Now, because we're using 15 brownstones as well, the failure gauge... Okay, this is pretty crazy. It's only 20% success rate, so 1 in 5. You got 2 in a row there, though. Okay. You can see a little bit's going to end up going to waste here. 90%. This one right here is going to take us up to the maximum. But unfortunately, we lost 5% doing it that way. So that's why I did the manual method first, if you really want to be a perfectionist here. And now we're not going to use it on the 4-star one. We're going to end up going back here to the 5-star one. And this is where we're going to use our gauge. Make sure you double click it so that you see that it goes up to 100%. And just like that right there. So there we go. Anyway, like I said, though, I've got this video up on the channel from ages ago, but it was so long ago, and I don't know if I did a good job of explaining it. I think this video probably explained it a bit better, so I wanted to use this as an opportunity to re-release this, and hopefully you guys were able to take something away from this video that you're able to use for yourself. So if you guys enjoyed and you want more videos like this in the future, consider subscribing to the channel. Feel free to toss a quick like as well. It means more than you can imagine, so thank you so much to all of you who decide to do that. And more Grand Cross Global videos should be popping up on the screen right about now, or in the suggested videos to your right or below. Over 150 guides, tutorials, and all that fun stuff on the channel, so feel free to check it out. But if not, until next time, have a great day, everyone. Take care. This is Salt of the Salty Guild, signing out.